The thing I love about stand-up is that it's one of the only arts that you can't do alone. You have to do stand-up with a whole audience in order to get better. You can't just get better at stand-up doing it in here. And what we're here tonight to do is watch someone get better at stand-up, which I think is so freaking awesome. And I'm really excited for it. I also am kind of surprised that introducing Hank Green is exactly like introducing any other first-time stand-up. This next person has a YouTube channel. What he talks about his deep thoughts and feelings. He says he's working on a book. And he told me that his friends think that he's funny. Please welcome Hank Green, everyone.
So I thought this was a really good idea to start out by having 3 experienced comedians go first. Thank you guys, that was really wonderful. I watched you from the window upstairs, and yo, good. I heard like 60% of it. It sounds like 1940s radio up there. But I'm glad you're alive. Seems like you've done some things that might lead to a contrary outcome. So the worst part about being diagnosed with cancer is that they don't tend to do that to people who don't have cancer. So that's a thing that's happening to you now, and it's your life. But the second worst thing about being diagnosed with cancer is a matter of debate that I've heard some of from other cancer survivors. But one of the things I mainly heard was that when you get diagnosed with cancer, you then immediately have a new job, which is the worst thing, one of the worst things possible has happened to you, and now your job is to tell other people that a terrible thing is happening to them, which is that their friend or family member has cancer. You have to tell people that you have cancer, and that takes days, because there's a bunch of them. I have to have a separate phone call. If I found out I had cancer, I was alone. I wasn't alone. They don't text you. They're not you can break up with someone over text now, and you can't tell them that they have cancer over text yet. I was in the room with a doctor, but not it wasn't the way it was supposed to be. I went into the surgeon because I got a biopsy, and she was going to check on my incision to make sure it looked good. And then I've been why aren't they telling me if I have cancer or not? It's been a while, and she's like, I'll bug them. And so she bugged him, and then she was like, it's healing up great, looks fantastic. You have cancer, but they're not sure what kind yet. And I was like, look, I'm not a doctor. I don't know the way you're supposed to do it, but I kind of wish she'd just sat on that. Is that an option to know something and not say it out loud? I do that lots. On Twitter, that's all I do. And so she says, and then she says, you can have the room for as long as you like. Do whatever you want in here. It's your day. But that's not actually true. There is an amount of time that's the right amount of time to stay in the room. I'm worried if I leave too soon that they're going to be he's not emotionally aware. That man, he's not processing. He's left immediately. He's not even crying. He's not taking the time to do the work he needs to do. But if I stay too long, eventually they're going to be we soon we need eventually you got there's other patients. We have to go home now, and you can't stay here. So there's a right amount of time time, and I don't know what it is. And I do know that this is a weird layout for this doctor's office. At the moment I open the door, there's a desk there that has people at it. So they'll know what's going on, and I don't know what they know. I know that there's rules about medical information. It's not Mar-a-Lago. They're aware. But I don't know what they can share, so I don't know what they know, and I don't know, the doctor's left, and I've been in there for a while crying, and they're like, what, and then in this moment, as I'm fretting about the proper way to leave the cancer room, I realize, well, I have cancer, but I'm still me. Very hyper-aware of how I'm going to be imagined by everyone who is not going to think anything about this. They're not going to have any thoughts, so finally I just just get ready, and I walk out, and I head down, it's normal day! And I walk out, I walk down the stairs, and I walk out into this universe that we all inhabit together, and I look out, and what I want is to see a butterfly float by. So I can look at the butterfly and be like, that butterfly is beautiful. And in a month it'll be dead. And my life is beautiful. And in some amount of time, we're all going to be gone in 100 years. That butterfly's going to be, I don't know how long butterflies live, but probably not long. I think I actually do know how long butterflies live. And we got one person in here who might be around in 100 years. How's it going? It's a good time? Okay, that's okay to be shy. 6-year-old. Welcome to the show. You're in it now. We're all going to be gone. Beautiful life that we all get to have. It's beautiful because it's temporary. I don't know about that one, but I want to feel a feeling about my place in the universe. I want to see a butterfly. I want to think that butterfly and I share 80% of our DNA, from the first cell that divided 3.7 billion years ago to now, that's kind of just all the same cell a lot of times. That's 27% of the lifespan of the entire universe. Life has been here, and it's an unbroken chain from that moment until now, and I'm just one tiny piece of it. I want to imagine my life that way, but I don't see a butterfly. I walk out there, and I see an office park, and I turn to my left, and it's Mullen. The road, and in between Mullen is a ditch, and in the ditch there's cops. And I want, the reason that cancer, the big reason you don't want to be a cancer person is that you want to protect the consciousness that you have, this existence. And my one existence, my conscious brain, the only one I get, volunteers me a thought. It throws this one up into the air for me without me asking for it. It says, that fucking cup doesn't have cancer. I'm me now. I'm yeah, no, the cup doesn't have cancer. It used to be a tree. And they killed it to make cups. To hold one Coke once. And get thrown into the ditch by Mullen. No, the cup has never had sex or a vegan pizza. It's never heard jazz or the giggle of a child. The cup doesn't know the universe exists. The cup has it worse than you. It didn't get to have consciousness at all. It was just a cup, so that was that. I got to have that instead. I got a butterfly, I got a cup. So I'm in an office park, jealous of the cup. And I have to go tell people I have cancer. So I get in my Chevrolet Volt, which doesn't have cancer. And I drive on Mullen home, and I drive past McDonald's, and I think to myself, I should get a Coke. and a McDouble. I deserve that. It's my cancer day. But then I'm no, I gotta take care of this body. It's the one I got, and I gotta take care of it. I gotta not get the Coke, and I gotta do all the things that you do to make sure, anything that might tilt the odds at all. That lasts 2 days. Before you're back at McDonald's, if you're wondering how long. So I get home, and I tell my wife, she's pretty up to date on the situation, so she doesn't actually seem super surprised. we handle it as best can be expected, and then I have to call my mom. Yeah, I know. And so I call my mom, and it's Friday, and it's 10, well, I could say it's Tuesday, it's 9 o'clock in the morning, but I'm not a green hanger. But it's not. It's Friday, it's 10 o'clock in the morning, and I'm calling my mom, and she has not recently guilt-tripped me about how I haven't called her enough. And so she answers the phone like this. Hello? Like, her dead mother's name came up on the caller ID. And I realized at this moment, like, a very big surprise for me, I'm about to deliver good news to my mom. Everyone you think is alive is alive! Oh, Catherine and Oren are fine, I say, and then I'm like, oh shit. I have to tell you something. Now, the Roman Stoics believed in the power of negative visualization. That if you imagine the bad outcomes, you appreciate the good outcomes. If you imagine that you will die, you appreciate your life more. If you imagine your child dying, you will appreciate the time that you have with your child more. But I don't think the Roman Stoics had ever met their moms. Because they can do the first thing, imagine the bad, and then they just do it again. And the only superpower that this granted my mom was the ability to, in the moment when her son tells her that he has cancer, to just be fucking great. Because I swear to God, she just got to reference the 3,000 different times she's had this conversation while staring at the ceiling in the middle of the night. She'd imagined me having cancer so many times that she was just awesome at it. So it was great. It was a great phone call. I was a little baby. She was a mom. I loved it. And no notes. Like, good job, mom. It was all worth it. But my mom wasn't the first person to find out, obviously. I wasn't. My doctor obviously wasn't. They only got half the story. Not only the person looking at my cells was the first person to find out that I had cancer. I think the first person who knew I had cancer was my friend, YouTube.com. And its associated algorithms, which, when I first started thinking something might be up, YouTube was like, this guy, what does YouTube sound like? This man. That's the same thing. Honestly, this young man has developed a sudden and not at all charming interest in lymph nodes. What's happening with him? Oh, and then the second day, he's like, oh, this man doesn't seem to just have an idle lymph curiosity. He's not just a little bit interested in what lymph is. He's developed a little bit of medical anxiety. That's okay, it happens to everybody, you know, it's what we do. We throw him a bunch of scary shit, and he goes to see the doctor, and then he stops. Great, YouTube knows how to handle this situation. So it throws me the scary shit, and then 3 weeks later, I'm Googling, like, you know, physical therapy after axial lymph node biopsy for nerve pain, and YouTube's like, oh shit, my bad. And reaches through the screen and is like, I'm so sorry to hear about your situation. We will get through this together. I swear to God it knew before I did, and it starts throwing me this stuff that's like actually really useful. It's like, yeah, we are gonna get through this together, buddy. It's like once I got my diagnosis, it was like fucking there for me. You wanna see, would you like, my friend, to see some Hodgkin's lymphoma survival stories? Yeah. Fuck yeah, man. It's like, do you want chemotherapy tips from a Hodgkin's lymphoma patient? Yeah, I'm gonna have to go through that. It's like, shoot, man, Would you like to see, and he just throws to me, I catch some Hodgkin's survival stories where they didn't actually live. Why did you throw that at me? And it's like, the lady who got the chemo tips who cancer's packets in her lungs. No! It's like that friend, you got this friend who once they fuck up once, they fuck up forever. Like they just can't stop. It's like they get it in their heads and they can't stop fucking up. It's like that. And I'm like, no, stop feeding me the shit. And it's like, I don't know who you are anymore. You like rocket ships. Here's misogynistic Jordan Peterson clips. I like space and women. That's possible, I promise. It's hard. YouTube mostly delivers, and we got through it together. We got a snorter in the front. I haven't checked to see who it is yet. Who's looking? Who is it? Oh, I'm not. So, how long has it been like this? It's okay. Are you down with chatting? He's okay. Can you chat? Yeah, your thumbs up. How long has it been like this? Yeah. Forever. That's from birth. I love it. It's really now the part. This is the fun part where everybody's listening, but you're laughing. So you can hear it in full audio. What's your name?
Tina.
Hi, Tina. Where are you from?
Originally from Texas, but we've been here about 10 years.
You gotta say 10 years.
Okay.
That's really important. I was recently on a plane, and there's a guy sitting next to me, and I was chatting him up because I'm that guy. This one like, oh, man, you got a story in you. He's like, I'm like, so where do you live? And he's like, oh, like, because I kind of expected him to be from where I was flying to, wherever that was. But he was like, no, I live in the Bitterroot. And I was like, because I looked at him. So I was like, well, when did you move to the Bitterroot? And he said, well, just like during COVID. And I was like, my wife was sitting 2 rows up. Because that had happened. And I said, hey, Cal! This guy lived in the Bitterroot, moved there a couple years ago. And the guy's like, what the fuck, man? And everyone who could hear me was like, oh! I suggest that. Give it a chance. So, but like the process of people knowing before I knew, it seems like that happened over and over again for some. Like that was like the whole process of the first month of having cancer. Is people looking at me with eyes that made me think, you could just tell me. They can't, they're not allowed to. So I'm going around, like I'm jumping around from the story here, but I go in for an ultrasound after my doctor is like, those have been swollen for a while, let's just check them out. And the ultrasound tech doesn't, like, her job is to fucking poker face every interaction, right? Like, she sees people who are about to die, but mostly she sees people who have medical anxiety about some shit that doesn't matter. But she has to have the same face with both of those people. So she's like, wand in my armpit, and she's clicking on the screen, measuring and showing, and then she finishes up and she's like, look, I'm gonna go get a doctor. I was like, what? This is America. If I want to see a doctor, I gotta wait like 4 weeks. But in that room, there was a doctor in 5 minutes. And I never saw this man again. He just came in and he was like, here's why we're worried about this. He just says the stuff that the tech could have said, but it's not allowed to. Here's why we're worried about this. He said a bunch of shit I can't remember and didn't understand. And then he said, you need to get a biopsy. Let's schedule that for tomorrow. So, I've been on the part of the American healthcare system that moves really slow and is super inefficient for my whole life. I have a chronic illness, and like if I want to get a colonoscopy about it, it's going to be 6 months. This is how it is, and it sucks and I hate it. But I gotta say, when it starts to get super efficient, it's nice, but it's upsetting. Imagine your dog gets good at chores. Is what it's like. It's like suddenly you walk in and your dog's on the stool at the sink and it's just like doing the fucking dishes. That's what it feels like when the American healthcare system starts to be efficient. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of nice. You haven't really been pulling your weight around here before. get down, I need you to stop. I'm sorry. It's nice, but it's disconcerting. And so that's happening to me now. And they give me the paperwork and I go down to the day surgery office, I fill out the paperwork and I hand it to the lady and she says, "Ooh, hand delivery." And I said, "Well, surgery is tomorrow, so I wanted to make sure you got it." And she was like, "Oh, procrastinator." And I was like, "You want this to be fun so much." But I'm gonna ruin it for you now, because it got scheduled today. And her face, like, immediately changes. It's why, it's like, you already know. And I should have, like, and I'm like, kind of still in the position where I'm like, I don't know, they're saying it maybe this, but like, they know. If I'm getting it. So it's the only way you get a surgery faster than that is if there's like a piece of a Ford F-150 currently inside it. So I'm looking at her, and it's like her face, if like, imagine you're on an airplane and you just made fun of this guy from the Beirut. You're on an airplane and it's in the air. Like it's currently in the air and there's a flight attendant running. Like it's a bad day for one person or every person. Like that's what that means. Because I don't know all the noises an airplane makes. And I don't know all the ways that the American healthcare system works. But you do. And I can see your fucking face. It doesn't look good. And I'm in the day surgery office, standing there, and I started looking around, and there's people all around me, and I'm like, is anybody else worried? And I realized nobody else is worried, because they're waiting for their loved one to get out of, tonsil surgery. They're not on the same plane as me. I'm the only one on the plane. And I don't know anything about planes. And there's something wrong with the plane. And then this little voice is like, Hank, you do know about planes. You taught plane anatomy and physiology. On YouTube. And I'm like, shut up, that was 8 years ago and I was reading a teleprompter. I know shit about planes. But there are people who do know about planes, luckily, and I got to start to talk to them. So I go, finally, I get my results, and I find out 8 hours later, by the way, so she really could have sat on it. And I have one of the good ones, because I've looked up at this point all of the cancers I might have. I knew. The moment I was like, tell me what it is. Is it diffuse large B cell? Is it Perkins? It's Hodgkin's, which is a good one. Yay. So we're not going to reach a conclusion to the story in this show, just by the way. Sorry about that. So I'm in the place to check in for my first appointment with my doctor. Who's going to talk to me about how we're going to handle the Hodgkin's lymphoma cells that are currently treating the rest of my body like a hamburger. And I'm filling out the paperwork, and there's, the part of the paperwork where there's like 1,000 things you might have, and you have to check the ones you do have. And I'm going through that, and I'm feeling pretty good. I'm like, yeah, I got like 2 of these. I could have like 200 things, and I only got these 2, plus the lymphoma. And I start going through, and I get to, this, you've probably seen this question. And it's like, have you, in the last period of time, considered suicide? I'm like, yeah, only in the fun ways, so I click on it. Then the next question now is a new one on me. It says, have you in the last period of time wanted to go to sleep and not wake up? And I was like, whoa! The cancer paperwork has 2 suicide questions. Because they know that cancer's fucking exhausting and suicide sounds like a lot of work. I gotta say, waking up with cancer sucks. So here's, to help you understand why waking up with cancer sucks. Imagine the times when you wake up from a dream where you're like, yes! That was a dream! Like, you probably had this one before, where you have been hired to kill by, like, organized crime. You've been hired to kill all of the Baltimore Orioles. The sports team, not the birds. And, but you only got 80% of them. And so now you're in an abandoned mall. And the rest of the Baltimore Orioles are hunting you. And so are the police, because you just killed a lot of people. But also, so are the organized crime people who are like, you fucked up. You left 20% of the Baltimore Orioles. So there's 3 groups of people hunting you, and they're all trying to kill you. You're in the Hot Topic that's been abandoned. You're going through the aisles trying to hide among the jingly pants. The aisle's getting narrower and narrower and lower and lower, and you're like crawling around in the jingly pants like it's a maze. And then you wake up, and you're like, fuck yeah! I have never killed anyone! This is amazing news! I've killed bugs! That's like it, and fish. Sorry. When did you move to the Bitterroot? I'm sure you're native, I'm sorry. So I kill lobsters, which is like bugfish. So that's it. There's one guy literally like that, and I'm thank you. I worked on that one for a really long time. And he's gonna say thanks. I'm like, what besides lobsters and fish? Well, that's something. Yes, you wake up, and it's like fucking great. Waking up with cancer is the exact opposite of that. When you're dreaming, you don't have cancer. It's some other guy. And then you wake up, both hunting and being hunted by the Baltimore Orioles, except they live in your body. That's a fucking problem. That's like 100% of what I have prepared for tonight. So I will now transition into the part of the show where I say thank you to our... which I didn't get a chance to talk about yet, has gone well in terms of treatment, and they took my port out 2 or 3 days ago, so... Now I'm headed to radiation, and that should hopefully fucking kill all the Baltimore Orioles. I am extremely intimidated by the number of people here. I think I could just go out that door, and you'll never see me again. Can I go out that door? Yeah, I'm just gonna go out of that door. You're not allowed to go out of that door. If I have sent you a text message before, you're welcome to go out of that door. I'll be standing there. Say hi to my friends. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming. I just want to say fuck you to Hank Green for being that good.